I know, man. I'm glad to be here. I've been moving for the last 2 days. I just got a new place right in the city. It's awesome. It's got a rooftop deck, which is great because I have a Batman costume. Yeah, it's safe now. I'm on patrol every night, man. I got my utility belt full of rail whiskey and cigarettes. It's outstanding. I like the city, man. The only thing I don't like is I run every day, and I mean, to run during the day in the city is dangerous because people in suits do not move. I'll just run right into some dude. So, like, I was like, all right, so the problem is I'm not getting noticed, right? So what I started doing to get more notice is I don't wear running clothes anymore. What I do is I wear this denim jacket when I go running. And I carry my VCR under my arm. The suits notice that. I'm like, hey, did that dude steal that thing, or is he from the past? I had to move because I spent the last year in graduate school working on my master's degree in journalism. Yes, clap it up, lady. Oh yes, let's all applaud for me investing money in a dying industry. That's what I do. Anything dying, I jump right into that. Comedy, journalism. I'm selling adjustable rate mortgages after the show. I hated it, man. I had to live in a college town for a year, which college towns I've found are fun when you're in your 20s. And then when you're in your 30s, they're just a daily reminder that you got old and someone forgot to tell you. It started like day one. Like I started making references. I thought everyone would understand. It turns out no one, like I had lived through history and didn't realize. Like it's awful. And so like when someone's like, what is that? Like you feel really old. And then I found you have to turn that negative into a positive. So what I started doing is if someone didn't know something, I would become an educator. One who lied a lot. Knowing that they would repeat the dumb thing I told them to someone else and look like an asshole later. Like I was talking to this one girl about Hall & Oates. You guys remember the band Hall & Oates? Some of you? Sure. She was 20 and did not. She goes, who's Hall & Oates? Oh, I'm sorry. They ran against Reagan and Bush in '84. I hope you have a paper due tomorrow. That wasn't helpful. I think that was your comment, sir. There were hippies there too, no thanks. I do not care for hippies. I mean, here's the thing. If you don't want to shower, that's fine, but why are you talking to me? I mean, they're never dirty in a corner. They're always in your face with some petition or just whatever crap they made this week that they're now selling for hot money. Some fella wrote, dude, you want to buy some sandals made out of hummus? No, I do not. While you're at it, stop with the petitions, all right? Because they're always some kind of peace-based whatever, and I'm not buying it. You can't tell me you're peaceful and then I look down and you're wearing like hemp clothing. You can't be. I don't know if you guys know this. Hemp clothing was invented by the Nazis as a cheap way to clothe people in concentration camps. And that's not true at all. I'm just trying to start that. Tell a friend, see what happens. The one thing I did like, though, living there is I started playing bar trivia. If you've never played bar trivia, it's fun. It's like going through the garage sale of your mind and going, oh, we own that? I don't know. Perfect example, we were playing once, and the question was, who owned the Peach Pit on Beverly Hills 90210? That was the question. And I yelled, Nat Basiccio, played by Joey Tata. And then I thought, why the hell do I know that? Like, I can't remember my mother's birthday, but that's just ready to go whenever I need it. The only reason I know it, I think, is because the way I understand the brain, that means I have a cell, and that's all it does. That's its goal in life. It's part of some 90210 cluster that just wakes up every morning. It's like, oh my God, I hope someone has Steve Sanders questions today. you ever think about that? Like, because they say we only use 10% of our brains, and I probably waste at least 7 with just that kind of stuff. Just useless that, or like my friends will ask me like some kind of question, and I will ponder it for a week, like shutting down the rest of my brain. Last week, my friend asked me, he goes, what group do you think is most, like, has the most stereotypes? That was his question. And he immediately was like, Asians. That was his answer. And I was like, I'm not going to throw in the towel that easily. I'll think about this. And I think it's pedophiles. No, I'm serious. Because when someone says pedophile, the schema activates, and you think that's all that person does. Like if you pointed out a dude and you were like, that dude's a pedophile, you would assume he does nothing else all day but just pedophile-y things, right? And by the way, that's a stereotype, and it's inaccurate. Pedophiles have to have jobs. You think vans and candy fall out of the sky? So stop being such a bigot. I think like 3/4 of my brain, all it does is just constantly remind me I want a cigarette. That's, I think, all it... Like, and the thing is, I don't even think I'm addicted to nicotine. That's my problem. I think I'm addicted to buying cigarettes. That's my addiction. I have this daily need to go into a gas station and see the freak show that hangs out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you gotta smoke, but if you're paying at the pump, oh my God, are you missing America? This happened to me 3 years ago. I swear this is a true story. I'm at the gas station. I'm buying my cigarettes. Dude walks up next to me and elbows me out of the way, and in his elbowing hand are 2 hot dogs. And he just looks at the clerk and he goes, "Hey, where's the damn relish?" To which our clerk responds, "Oh, I'm sorry, the relish truck hasn't come in yet." Folks, that's hilarious. Because either the clerk's screwing with this guy, or there really is a Johnny Trucker relish. And I promise, I watched this go down and I just started laughing. I didn't even care which one it was, right? And this dude gets all bent out of shape and he takes his hot dogs and just slams them on the counter and goes, "Well, it's the level of service I expected here tonight." Well, you are dining at the gas station this evening. I mean, I don't eat there often. Is there normally a wine list or something? And then the best thing is he storms out, like he makes this production, and he turns towards me, and he's got a T-shirt on, and across the front of the T-shirt, real big, it just says American and proud of. Sweet. You guys ever notice that? It's always like the people that are like most proud to be Americans always seem to be the people you are least proud to have. Prime example. For some reason, all of them are here in the Midwest. Don't hate me. I've lived here my entire life. I grew up in Ohio, and I've lived in Missouri for 6 years, and that guy you see constantly. Like, he's just a daily event. Yet, for whatever reason, you leave the Midwest, and people are like, "Oh, be careful." Like, I went to New York a month ago, and everyone freaked out. And let me tell you, I was in New York for a week. I saw no one as frightening as Relish Guy. Like, no one. Yet for some reason, there's still this fear. Like, this is an honest conversation I heard. 2 women, I guess, were talking about New York or something. And I walked by them. I don't know the whole conversation, but this was the part I heard. One woman says to the other, she goes, "I told him to be careful. He went to New York. Comes back, guess what? Now he's got AIDS." What subway did that dude get on? Oh my God. And the thing was, it was like the most Midwest thing I'd ever heard in my life. Because think of how the woman phrased it. Basically, in her mind, it was like, totally New York's fault this guy got AIDS. Like, it was only minor, like he made a silly mistake, as if he had forgot to double check the locks on his car door, and AIDS just snuck in the back seat of it. Some bizarre AIDS jacket, you know. Because that's how she phrased. Basically, the way this woman phrased it was like, this would never happen in Missouri. Only in New York. Only is some poor guy just minding his own business, buying a t-shirt. Some other fella comes up behind him and is like, I got a souvenir you won't forget. Thanks.